Hey guys, it is summer grilling season and it is the perfect time to throw some steaks on the grill and enjoy some beef with family and friends. Today, I'm going to demonstrate how to make a bomb.com tri-tip. Tri-tip is my ultimate favorite cut of beef, maybe tied with a ribeye, but there is so much flavor, so much tenderness, and so much versatility in a tri-tip. I just can't get enough of it. My family and we love it. The kids love it. And I'm going to show you how to cut and prepare and serve this particular cut of beef because let's face it, it can be kind of intimidating. So if you are looking for tips and tricks from a rancher and beef loving pro, stay tuned because I'm going to have it all right after this. Welcome to a new episode of the Radke Report. I'm Amanda Radke, a cattle rancher from South Dakota and a lover of all things beef. My family adores eating beef, selling beef to our friends and family, and cooking beef. And I know that beef can be kind of intimidating to cook with, especially at the price point that it is at the grocery store today. And so I want to help cut through all of the confusion and get to the meat and potatoes of all good things beef. And so today we're going to cook the perfect tri-tip on the grill. It is summer grilling season. It is a great time to be outside with friends and family, and there's nothing simpler than throwing some meat on the grill and serving it after a long summer day. And so the tri-tip is a cut of beef that maybe you're not familiar with before. Honestly, it's not served a lot up in South Dakota. It's like a regional thing. It's very popular down in the South, especially in Texas. Also, Californians do tri-tip very, very well. I was able to have my first tri-tip eating experience actually at the World Ag Expo in California in my 20s. So crazily enough, I had never really eaten a tri-tip or known even what it is. So proof that even cattle ranchers are learning something new. So what is the tri-tip? The tri-tip, it has its name because it comes from the bottom tip of the sirloin. It's named tri because it's like in a triangle shape. And I don't even know if you can tell that. And then, it has a tip. And so it's very important to cut it in the right direction because the fibers move in different directions on the steak. So that can get a little bit confusing. But I'm going to walk you through everything and show you step by step exactly what we do. And the great thing about a tri-tip is it is versatile. So you can grill it and serve it as is with traditional sides like rice or potatoes. You can slice it up really thin, add cilantro and a squeeze of lime juice and some taco seasoning and serve it as, like steak fajitas for tacos. You can slice it really thin and put it on a sandwich and have sandwiches all week. If you're like my family, of 6, we eat this entire thing in one sitting and we don't have to worry about leftovers, but you could cook it and enjoy it for supper one night and then serve it alongside eggs the next morning as leftovers or top it on a Caesar salad. The possibilities with the tri-tip are endless. And if you can't tell, that's why it is one of my favorite cuts of beef because it is that good. And so stay tuned. When we come back, I'm going to show you how we season it and throw it on the grill. And then we will get to grilling and cooking and eating. So we'll be right back after this break.
Are you a parent or teacher looking for accurate resources to teach kids about where their food comes from? Consider checking out my books at amandaradke.com. These stories highlight the men and women who provide us with the essentials of life, food, fiber, and energy. Beautifully illustrated by Michelle Weber, these books are a work of art and they have an educational message as well. Find them at amandaradke.com.
So we are back. I've got the tri-tip out of its plastic casing and on my cast iron, and we are going to prep it for grilling. I'm going to be using my favorite steak season, the All-American Beef Battalion Superior Steak Seasoning. If you've been following me for a while, you know that the All-American Beef Battalion is my absolute favorite nonprofit organization. With every purchase of this steak seasoning, which I will link below, you support the All-American Beef Battalion, which seeks to thank the troops by serving them a ribeye steak dinner for all the troops along with their family members. And so since 2007, when my friend and bonus grandpa, Vietnam War veteran, two-time Purple Heart recipient and Kansas cowboy, the late Bill Brody, when he started this organization, he wanted to make sure that our military men and women felt appreciated. And the best way he knew how to say thank you was with a steak. And so since 2007, when this nonprofit was started, they've almost served nearly 500,000 steaks to the troops. So again, if you want to support that organization, you can check out this steak seasoning. You can also donate or buy other swag at steaksfortroops.com.
Hey friends, the saying goes that freedom doesn't come free, and without the brave men and women serving our country to protect our freedoms and liberties, everything that we love and hold dear in this country would be for naught. So to thank the troops, would you consider buying them a steak? Check out the All-American Beef Battalion. Since 2007, the late Bill Brody and his team of volunteers have served over 400,000 steaks to the troops and their families as a way to say thank you. Learn how you can get involved and support this organization by checking out steaksfortroops.com.
So we are going to use this steak seasoning, and we are going to liberally season both sides or all sides of this tri-tip cut of beef. It's important to remember that a tri-tip steak is best cooked to medium rare or medium doneness over very high heat. So right now I have our grill heating up so that this piece of meat sizzles when we throw it on the grill. We want to make sure not to overcook the steak as well, because it can get tough. And so that medium rare is really a sweet spot. And we're going to use a meat thermometer to make sure that we hit the perfect mark when cooking our tri-tip. And so we're going to use that indirect heat method. So we're going to have that steak nice and hot. Then I'm going to turn down the heat on one dial and have that meat above that part of the grill while the higher heat is off to the side. And then we're going to flip it to ensure that there's even grill marks on both sides. So then once we have it done and grilled, we're going to let it rest for 5 to 10 minutes to allow the juices to redistribute throughout that piece of meat. Then we're going to slice it against the grain for the most tender steak experience. And then, you can do a lot of things with this steak once it is prepared, and we're going to talk a little bit more about those options after we grill this beautiful cut of beef. So stay tuned for updates. The tri-tip is a cooking. We've got it on the grill. We've got that nozzle turned down so it's low heat here and the high heat on this side where the meat is not at. It's been on there about 5 minutes now. We're going to flip it in just a few minutes, kind of keeping an eye on it to make sure that there's no flames that get on our delicious cut of beef. But once that is grilled, we are going to let it rest before we cut it. That's a really important part. And it's summertime on the ranch, so there's a lot going on. We're looking forward to digging in and eating, but also getting back to the cattle ranch chores that are never ending around here. There's always waters to check, fences to fix, and we got to keep an eye on all the cattle now that they are out on summer pastures. And so they're not right in the backyard in our lots. They're out on summer grass and enjoying the beautiful lush grass that summer has to offer. And so that's what we will do after supper time, is make our rounds and make sure all the bulls and the cow-calf pairs are exactly where they need to be. So stay tuned. We will take that meat off the grill once it reaches that internal temperature of 130 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about the perfect temperature to reach that medium rare to medium doneness that we are trying to achieve. After that, we'll slice it up really thin, and the whole family will get to enjoy that beautiful tri-tip. Stay tuned for more. We'll be right back. You guys, I just pulled the tri-tip off the grill. We're going to let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes, which is the hardest part, because who doesn't want to just dig into this bad boy right away? But patience is a virtue when it comes to having a great beef eating experience, and letting those juices redistribute into the meat and letting that meat rest just a tick is a really important thing to making sure that you have that juicy and tender eating experience when it comes to beef. Now, looking at the tri-tip as it is cooling here, you're going to want to look at the grains. And so the grains are like little lines that go across that tri-tip. And you're going to kind of notice that they change course as you start from one end of that triangle to another. And so you want to cut against the grain, which it takes a little practice. It's a little intimidating because you think, oh, am I doing this right? But trust me, as long as you find those lines and then go against it, that's how to cut this piece of meat. And you're just going to want to chop it nice and thin and then serve it as you like. Like I said, you can use it on fajitas, just add some cilantro and a shot of lime juice on here. Serve it with some chimichurri sauce and make some fajitas. You can put them on a hoagie with gravy. You can serve them like we'd like to just cut and serve. Basically, our whole family would just eat off this cutting board because my kids love it so much, and it's tender and juicy and a robust beef flavor. Serve it alongside your favorite sides. Put it on a salad or serve it alongside eggs for steak and eggs. The tri-tip can do it all. And so we're going to cut this bad boy up and we're going to serve it to the kids. And I know they're just dying to have a bite of this beautiful piece of meat, as I am too. So we're just going to gently cut. Really good to have sharp knives and makes for easier cutting. You have to forgive me, this one might be a little bit duller than I would like, but as you can see, you just kind of cut along that grain and nice and thin, and you're going to get a beautiful cut of meat, something like this. Now, I'm not going to do a video cutting the entire thing, but you get the idea, where you cut backwards and then kind of rotate back. Once it's all finished, it's going to be a beautiful, thinly sliced cut of beef that tastes as good as a ribeye. The whole family can enjoy it. And yeah, I hope this video helps. If you have any other questions for me, feel free to drop them in the comments below. If there's a cut of beef that you find super intimidating to work with, I'd be happy to show you how our family prepares that cut. Also, if you are local to Mitchell, South Dakota, I wish we shipped our beef, but right now we are set up to sell locally. So if you are looking to fill up your deep freeze, you're going to want to send me a message with your email. We'll get you on our mailing list and we'll let you know when we have beef ready this summer. It goes fast. It's our labeled beef called Rad Beef. The kids get involved in selling it and delivering it, and we'd be happy to help you stockpile during these uncertain times where supply chain disruptions and rising food prices and bare shelves at the grocery stores are making a lot of families pretty uneasy. And so now is a great time to connect with a local rancher, to ask all the questions you have, and to buy beef in bulk so that you never have to worry about having access to safe and nutritious and wholesome protein like beef. So thanks for tuning in to this special episode of the Radke Report. Next on the agenda, I'm going to sit down with Tyler, and he's going to answer all of our questions about how to buy in bulk, what people need to know about as far as price per pound and what to expect when you actually get that quarter or half of beef. There's a lot of education that comes with that, and even I'm still learning in that regard, but we're going to walk through every step, and so that process looks a little bit less intimidating when you go to connect with a local rancher to buy beef in bulk. So from my ranch to your kitchen, thank you for choosing beef. I got the tri-tip all cut, and I just have to tell you guys, that is one beautiful piece of meat. Kids are going to love it. We like to serve it alongside our homemade ranch. I will post a recipe for you to reference. A little ranch and a little hot sauce and just this beef. It's all we need at our house. Happy grilling season, you guys. I hope this provides a little help and inspiration for some ideas of how to enjoy beef all summer long.